Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2026 Ford F-150 for $195 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1009974. $195 per month lease for 36 months with approved credit. 7,500 miles per year. 10,000 due at signing. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 8/31/26.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and new Sierra and Silverado trucks continue to roll in, and August is a great time to upgrade. Right now, get new GMC Sierras for under $50,000. Or get 2.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,500 bonus cash. Visit us in Louisville or anytime at koppelcars.com. Stock number G306367 with approved credit.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option: Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
The Friends with Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning here in Lincoln would like to take this time out to thank our first responders, doctors, nurses, and the healthcare professionals who put their lives in harm's way for our protection. Blood donation centers need people to donate blood. Be a silent hero and donate blood today. It will help accident victims, surgery patients, sick children, and members of our military. This message is from Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning here in Lincoln. Let's stay united and keep America safe and strong.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2026 Ford F-150 for $195 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1009974. $195 per month lease for 36 months with approved credit. 7,500 miles per year. 10,000 due at signing. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 8/31/26.
Hop in the pit if you dare. It's time to join two Husker legends in the trenches. Jason Peter.
And here is a fake. Druckenmiller on the keeper. Loses the football. It's picked up by the Huskers. And they're going to run it in. Jason Peter for the score. Jason Peter, the man of the hour right now for the Big Red, as Nebraska now takes a 16-7 lead. The Hokies.
And Grant Wistrom.
Trying to open things up a little bit now. Here is a pass, and it's intercepted by Grant Wistrom. Takes it in for the score.
Are ready to take you inside the hallowed halls of Memorial Stadium. From the locker room to the sidelines and deep into the stories behind the biggest wins in Nebraska football history. It's time for In the Pit on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your hosts, Grant Wistrom and Jason Peter.
Welcome in. It is In the Pit. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got Grant Wistrom, Jason Peter. As always, if you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685. Sutter Heyman text line. Guys, how's it going? Survived the flood, the flash flood that came in earlier. It was a little bit unexpected, but nonetheless, how's it going? Wednesday, August 19th.
Good. Got some beautiful sunshine here in downtown Lincoln. Peaked out for a little while. Weather's cooled off a little bit. Feels awfully nice outside right now.
It came down hard, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we had rivers running through the grass.
Did Gus and Hassan get side by side like they're walking onto the ark or anything?
I was out mowing, and I did not stick around to see what they were doing. Yeah, but the gutters were overflowing, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing? You all right?
Funny you should ask. Funny you should ask. I don't know why you went there. It's been a bit of a testing day. So Charlie got a dog, a few weeks ago, and talked about my affinity towards dogs. And but we and she's in soccer season, so we're taking care of a lot. So her dog, it's a puppy and it's busy, and we had him over yesterday, and we have nothing but tile and concrete in our house, but the dog found one rug, whizzed on it. Came back over today, proceeded to whiz on the rug again, then climbed up on Charlie's bed, so at least it was her bed, whizzed on that.
Yeah.
We had some stools set up at the top of the stairs to keep the dogs out of the downstairs so we could keep an eye on them all together. Well, dog can make a great O-lineman. Just drove block that stool down the stairs, took 2 chunks out of the treads on the stairs, left. We just got the floor guy just left the house yesterday.
Oh.
Put 5 big black marks on the concrete floor downstairs and then punched a hole in the drywall. So, I mean, when he does damage, he does damage. So
what he may need is another
dog to play with. Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah. We'll send him over to your house. We'll have your dogs
Melissa,
trained.
I think that's the path we have to go down. Is this guy over here? He needs another dog.
One more, please.
Another one. Absolutely.
More.
Why not?
I can think of a lot of reasons why not.
Yeah. So I know yesterday, you had called, and being on the radio is new for you, and some people's reactions to the things that we say sometimes are not positive. And I know you probably had a little pit in your stomach, and I used to go through that as well too. You get over it. You realize what we're doing here is ultimately for the betterment of the program. Somebody's got to remind people that, hey, this is Nebraska. We are a blue blood, at least for now. We better start winning. But there are things that you do and you don't do when you're a blue blood. You stick to the basics. You don't have to do a lot of the gimmicky stuff that other programs do. And what this program's about. So you just keep speaking from the heart. Don't worry about those other people. They don't understand. They haven't been down there. They haven't done 2-a-days. They haven't battled. They haven't broken bones. They haven't, damaged their brains. They haven't done that stuff. So you just keep doing what you're doing.
And out of all the things we've talked about on here and the critiquing that we do,
we don't rip players, right?
No,
even though they're getting paid a lot of money now, which is certainly, I think, on the top, it should be on the table, with when there's a major lack of production from a high paid sort of player, but we stay away from that.
But people take their alternate uniforms very seriously. Very seriously. My favorite one was somebody posted a clip of The Simpsons where it's
old man yelling at clouds.
Yeah, old man yelling at the clouds again.
But I'll say this much: I don't, I don't fully disagree with you guys either when it comes to the distractions. Now,
what do you mean fully?
I could see why you were in the new era.
You disagree with this
a little bit?
I disagree with you guys, like on a slight degree.
Yeah, we'll put Shay in a second.
You're
We'll have a new
welcome.
producer,
Look at-
second segment.
Everybody is entitled to their opinion, as are we.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I'm not ever going to tell you guys don't have the right to say your opinion over mine. And that's the other part. Like, and you've said it before, Grant. Now you have too, Jason. Like, all we want is for Nebraska football to be good.
Just win.
Yeah.
I don't care who's under the helm. As long as they're winning, I'm happy.
I can't wait to say, you know what? I'm sorry, I was wrong. I want to say that.
I hope so.
I want to say that this year. Nobody wants them to win more than, not that we want it any more than anybody else in the state, but man, I want to say I was wrong.
We haven't sat up here and said anyone needs to be fired or anything like that. We're just saying there needs to be some results at this point. That's it. You know, show Nebraska fans, you know, what's coming down the road. Is it worth getting all in, or, you know, should we remain skeptical? I think that's a fair question, especially when the money that is being thrown around nowadays, not just here, but at other places as well. There's expectation, plain and simple.
Well, let's get some for the text on here. We got Lemon chiming in and says, people will complain no matter what you say, so you might as well say what you want. Is an absolutely true point. Money G in Kansas says, speak the truth. We're tired of listening to all the good constantly. Stay the path. We got Husker Stu says, guys, keep doing what you're doing, please. Don't worry about the darn snowflakes out there. So, again, I think, you know, right before the season, there's optimism, but, you know, even me, I'm 27 years old. I don't like being sold into constant coach speak, constant this guy looks great, constant this is the year. Now, I'm not going to bash people before the season starts, but I'm also like, you know, let me see it. I don't want to start giving praises out for results that I have been told over and over, and I haven't seen any.
Right. Yeah, it's coming. I'm from the show me state, you know, got to see it. Don't tell me about it. Show it to me.
The show me state.
That's right. What do they call it? Jersey?
The Garden State.
The
Garden State.
Garden.
Come on.
Garden.
Come on. You fell in love with Jersey when you were there. Yes, you did.
Oh,
yes, you did.
So
this
many
guy still wants to go
smokestacks.
back. Yeah, well, that's on the way into or out of
Jersey.
the airport. Yes, that's, you know, you got to go kind of through that area to get into New York
get into
City.
Connecticut, and then you see some gardens.
Connecticut. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we got some audio, some more audio, and this will be kind of a pattern as we get closer to the season. We had Jeep Wade finally reach the podium. I know this is a guy that a lot of people wanted to hear from. We also had Brett Maher and Brown as well, Corey Brown as well, the defensive line coach. Let's go ahead and start things off with offensive line coach Jeep Wade. And here's him talking about having the offensive line play with their own styles. Here's offensive line coach Jeep Wade.
I don't want to paralyze them, you know, like I want to run off the ball and I want to play violent, be violent with our hands. And if you give them 17,000 things to think of, they're not going to do that. And I want to play, you know, I want to be simple, you know, and I think, you know, you just get guys that love football and you can coach them off the film. You know, sometimes when you get an older group, you can fix it in the film room. You know, you don't have all the time in the world to go fix it. So I just want them playing fast and not thinking. And if they do that, at the end of the day, then we'll have a chance to be successful, even if it's not perfect. Because, guys, offensive line's an imperfect position. It's never going to be perfect. I'm never going to be happy till the last day of bowl practice or college football play, whatever. You know, it's just the way it is. You know.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, this is kind of what we wanted. You know, someone that who stresses the physicality of playing that position more and more. So everything that he's saying to me, I mean, you know, we've talked about it numerous times about the improvement in just the overall body type that they have down there. You got guys that have played Power 4 football. You've got a coach coming from a team that I watched. He was at Georgia Tech last year, right?
Yep.
I watched Georgia Tech several times, and
they had Haynes King go on the quarterback.
Haynes King, yeah, and but a lot of run game, QB run game,
a lot of it.
You know, so they were running the ball, whether running back or QB, quite a bit, and they were successful. You know, they had a nice little season down there.
Yeah, and I like the fact that he doesn't have an ego where it's you got to come in and do it my way. There's only one way to do it. It's my way. I know when I really upped my golf game was when I found the swing coach that would take my swing and he didn't try to change it. He said, "Let me work with what you got going on here." You know, and that's where
Was that me?
No, it was something much better. You just say it's bad and I should quit. But
I said, take 2 weeks off and then quit.
No, but it's just football. It's stressed all the time. You can't think while you're out there. It's got to be natural. So like you said, if you got guys thinking about 17 different things and this foot's got to be perfect, and football's not a perfect game. It's an imperfect game and the target's always moving. So if you can't think on your feet, you're screwed out there.
Well, that's what I liked most about it was just, we got to think sometimes less. And just as long as we're going 100%, it's not always going to be perfect, but it was going to give us our best chance as opposed to, me and Deeper were talking about it yesterday, sitting there and being unsure, thinking about it. Well, that's typically when you land on your butt. And that's, I imagine the Iowa game, Penn State game, probably too much thinking going on a defensive line and offensive line where when you're getting your butt kicked, you just got to find ways to be explosive. Here's more of Jeep Wade, what he wants, when he wants to see that starting five be solidified.
You know what's, I hadn't even thought about that, and that's not coach talk because this week's still camp. You know what I mean? Matt's challenged us as coaches that this week is fundamentals, tough, camp, grind them, let's go, because we don't have many more of these days left. So we can't waste that. The valuable time I get during Indy, okay, today we're really going to work this scheme, and tomorrow we're really going to just work this scheme for 20 minutes, not just do this, and this. So this time is really valuable for me to really hone in on the fundamentals that we got to get fixed so that we can take another step. Does that make sense, Colin? Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's just continues to be good stuff coming out of his mouth, and I'm excited to see what this offense can do. I mean, we've heard a lot about the quarterback and obviously the offensive line and that's Nebraska football. We've got to be tough up front.
Yeah,
got to be. It's been nice to listen to him in the interviews that he's done. Seems like a good guy. Seems like I had a chance to meet him one time. And yeah, I mean, this, we'll see what happens, but I mean, I think they should be ready to take a jump, I think, on the offensive side and especially up front.
Yeah, I agree with you. And they should still be in that mindset that it still can't.
Yeah.
There's no reason to start preparing for, Ohio or any of your first few games. You're still bringing guys together. You're still working on, putting in plays and schemes. So thinking about that, he probably has a really good idea of who is,
Right.
I think most people that follow this,
he's probably got his starting five and maybe two
guys,
kind of
swing
guys.
Yeah. So, right. He needs to go out there and everybody should just still be focusing on developing, bettering, coming together as a unit, becoming more cohesive.
Yeah. And fundamentals. I love hearing that word, fundamentals, right? Because we've been horrible. We've been a horrible fundamental team for the past 10 years. Longer than that. The last 15 years. And that is the key to being a good, solid football team. Now, what you do above and beyond the fundamentals, that gets you into different levels, different tiers of how good you are,
Mm-hmm.
How much do you guys like confidence level wise thinking that the offensive line, of course, we don't know yet, but with Jeep Wade, with some of the transfers they brought in here, guys like Brendan Black, Tree Babalade, that they can be one of the true leaders on the offensive side of the ball? Because I think if Nebraska can get through this schedule, with their head up and feel like they've accomplished a lot this year, they're going to have to be one of the strengths of this offense.
If they are the strength and if they are the leaders, we're going to have a great offense. If your offensive line, if people are like, you guys are blowing people off the ball, you're the key to this, you're going to have a dang good offense.
The offensive line needs to run their half of the practice, and the defensive line needs to run their half of practice. And hopefully you have a leader or two that I've said it over and over for years and years, a big proponent of preferring a big guy as your leader as opposed to one of the skinny And not to say that a skinny guy, a little guy can't do it as well, but there's more impact when it's a big guy standing in front of everybody, demanding it be a certain way.
Well, just like Christian for
Right.
us. I mean, he scared you into going out there and playing good, and I'm on his team and I know he has my back, but I'm like, if I don't play good, this guy's going to tear my head off. You know, there's just something about
Fear
it.
is a good motivator.
Oh, yeah.
Fear can be a very good motivator.
Yeah, well, I mean, what was when you guys were playing, what was the thing that made that offensive line so elite? Was it the time they spent off of practice, like with extra stuff, or was it that time in practice they're dialed
I'll
in?
tell you what it was. For offensive guys on our team, that offensive line on our team, they had a defensive mentality. Do you know?
Mhm.
Like, and that's what I think, that aggression, that's what you're looking for. Those guys wanted to knock you off of the ball. They wanted to pick you up. They wanted your head to hit before your feet did. They wanted to embarrass you. They wanted to hurt you. It's hard to play this game, if you're just trying to be like a finesse guy. You gotta, there is, most of the time, it's probably more of a power game than it is doing the little fancy things, right?
Yeah. Our offensive line, they wanted to run the ball.
Right.
They wanted to hit you in the mouth. Any one of those guys, if they had been a little bit more athletic, could have played defense. They weren't, so they stuck them on the offensive side of the ball.
Fat too.
Yeah. But yeah, Jason's right. They wanted to beat you up. They wanted to intimidate you. They took pride in the fact that they were going to, people talked about the pipeline and they feared them. And that resonated with them. And every Saturday, they didn't rest on that. They went out and earned that reputation every single Saturday.
They were hogs, man. Hogs.
Well, those are the most frustrating teams just to play, like for me growing up, whether it was Wisconsin with Jonathan Taylor, whether it's been Iowa through these years, like I'd rather not lose, but I'd much rather get lit up by, say, USC on the scoreboard than get physically dominated throughout the course of 4 quarters.
It literally rips your heart out when you have a team that is just at will running the ball on you. So we talk all the time about the mental battle that goes on, right? Over the course of a game, that's one way to get a leg up, right, on the competition. It is just the overall physicality and just wanting to just continue to bury you play after play after play after play.
Well, and I think on the bright side, we're looking at the transfers that they finally invested on that offensive line is what it looks like. Even just using like NFL examples, I'm a Bears fan. I know people are tired of hearing it, but everyone talks about Caleb Williams. It's the offensive line got way better.
Yes.
They spent money on that offensive line. Now Swift, Monangai have guys to run behind. It took a lot of pressure off their shoulders. On a side note, this isn't on the notes, but I was looking up. So Nebraska spent about $23.7 million. That's their estimate for NIL spending this year alone. The top of the Big Ten, you're looking at a school like Oregon sitting at $43.4 million.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the area we're at. But looking at the guys that they have brought in through the portal, again, whether it's Brendan Blacktree, Bob Lade, I think you have seen an emphasis for Nebraska to spend some money there and make sure they have the right guys. The other part is to make sure that we're developing the guys underneath as well.
And look, we obviously a ton of talk this year about running back, right? You build that offensive line, they will come. They will come. Those kids want to run behind a dominating offensive line, right? That's just the reality of it. So you build that offensive line, you continue to develop that talent, you continue to make them mean and tough. Yeah, the running backs will come. Yeah.
We got some young guys too. They did talk about, me talking about development. Here's Wade on Gunnar Katula and how he's been looking at camp.
Gunner's had a great camp, had a great summer. Gunner to me is like one of those kids that I trust. Like he is going to get it done because he loves Nebraska. Just tough, gritty, plays through the whistle. So those are the kind of guys we will win with. And it's just something as a coach, like, if it's 3rd and 1 and we run behind him, I know he's going to get his hat across and I know he's going to strain and he's going to fight for his team. And those kind of guys will win with. Great camp. I love Gunnar Katula.
Is he a Nebraska kid?
Yeah, he's from right down the road.
Yep.
Lincoln Southeast.
Yeah,
right.
That's
or Southwest.
I can't remember which high school it was,
Southwest,
but
I
he's a
think
Nebraska native.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that homegrown kid that's wanted to play here for forever, that's tough, that loves football. That's what you need here. That's what's going to turn a program like this around. Guys that care about more than a paycheck. It means more to them than that. So that's awesome. I'm so glad that he's gotten healthy. He's had a good camp, and he's got a coach that's pouring into him and trying to elevate his game. That's what it's going to take across the board, especially if you want this thing to be sustainable. You could probably go out, we're not going to do it here. We don't have the budget of $40 million. Some teams will go out and buy a new team every year. We can't do that here. You've got to develop talent. You've got to go out there, recruit guys that other people might not be interested in, and develop those kids and pour into them and turn this program around.
Speaking of local kids, and not to get off topic here, how about the boys from Lincoln East?
Yeah, they got it done.
Huh?
Yeah. Won the World Series.
Impressive.
It was a 5-run deficit that they covered up to beat that Oregon team.
It was 6-1 after the third, I think, or something like that. And it did not look good. We had just kind of pulled our pitcher, and the Goldilocks with the long hair, the new pitcher that came in, it didn't go as planned. Like, it struggled a little bit in the beginning, but he kept fighting, and he was solid all the way through, man. I couldn't believe it. 6-1 to 9-6.
Yeah. Shout out, Lincoln East. Carpet Land is their Legion team name, but just an incredible run. The thing that, and why Lincoln East is able to be so dominant is they develop players, they bore into those players. And then also, I don't know how you teach it. They're just gritty.
Yep.
Like, you catch them on a bad day, they're never going to show it on their face.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to find ways to play through it. So that's a great shout out. Shout out those guys for sure.
Hell yeah.
With that being said, I think let's get one more Jeep Wade clip in here, actually, and then we'll go ahead and throw to our first break. We do have Scott from Lincoln. Gunner's dad is the Lincoln Southeast Knights head coach as well. Okay. So even more ties to the connections here. Here's him on Elijah Pritchett. Elijah Pritchett probably playing that left tackle spot. He's been praised a lot so far during the camp. And then last year, especially towards the end of the stretch, you probably saw some of his best football. Here's more updates on Elijah Pritchett from offensive line coach Jeep Wade.
With Pritch, it's I honestly think Pritch, just be complete transparency, I just think Pritch needs some needs to just start fast, play confident, and just have something good happen to him. Does that make sense? And I think Pritch is a guy that we've challenged him to, hey man, just work hard, don't think about it, play violent. And I don't know if you guys are out there, but when you watch him just warm up, it's something that the lights clicked. I think I'm very proud. I'm very, very proud of Pritch, but I'm very proud of him just from the way he's working, and attacking it. Not saying it's all perfect, but you can watch him stretch. I'm like, he's about to have a good day. Just the body language, and what he's about. So very proud of that.
And lots of times you'll see that year 1 to year 2, there should be a big jump. He had some experience before he came here, but I know going from high school to college in the NFL, that year 2. That should be a big jump for most guys because everything slows down. You know what's expected of you. You know at practice how it's going to flow. You know how games go. So excited to hear that. And he's probably thriving underneath a coach that's providing a little bit more discipline to him.
But this is his 4th year of college football?
I believe so. I'll double check, but yeah.
Yeah. So he should have an understanding, especially coming from Alabama where he played as a youngster. I mean, for me, there certainly, with going back to what Jeep said about how he just needs a little confidence, something good to happen. I get that part of it, right? But confidence comes from your preparation, right? Like, so that if you're preparing down there every single day, and he should, he's been here, he knows the offense.
This is his, I had to look it up. So this is year 5. He did have a redshirt year at Alabama. So 3 seasons at Alabama, 2 years at Nebraska.
So he's an adult in the room.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, so he needs to be handling his stuff, and he needs no more, you can't I felt like there were times in the past year or 2 where he's disappeared, right? And I'm not just saying off of the field, I'm on the field, right? Like, he's just, and maybe that's part of the battle kind of that Jeep was hinting to, mentally, where he needs something good to happen. Sometimes things don't happen right off the bat, very good. That doesn't mean you can go in the tank, right? Like you got to figure out how to find your stuff, how to find your best stuff, or at least stuff that's winnable, right? Like you don't want to be a liability out there. And now being as old as he is, we're kind of counting on him not to be.
Yeah, I think it's a huge year for him. Again, he's definitely shown flashes, but for him, the biggest part is going to be that consistency, because you go look at Huskers that are, have the best chances to make that NFL run. Pritchett's one of those names. He's certainly got the physicality. It's just if he can put it all together mentally and then do it consistently. With that being said, we'll throw it to break. In the pit, Grant Wistrom, Jason Peter. Talk to you in a bit.
Here's your updated 93.7 The Ticket forecast, sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical. A flood advisory continues until 6 p.m. tonight. Chance for storms this afternoon, otherwise partly cloudy skies. Highs level off around 80, northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 65 tonight, slight chance of thunderstorms. That's your updated forecast on Lincoln's home for the Kansas City Royals. 93.7 The Ticket. I'm meteorologist Kara Foster. Right now, it's 67 degrees.
Remember your first Salt Dogs game? Maybe it was a class trip out on the berm, or date night with actual fireworks, or team building that didn't feel like work at all. For 25 seasons, Haymarket Park remains Lincoln's place for firsts like these, the kind that last. Because it's more than a baseball game. It's the joy of being here together. These are the traditions that bring us home. So here's to you, Lincoln, your local tradition plays on. Get your tickets at saltdogs.com.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete in Lincoln and Palmyra. Ready Mixed offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply with Ready Mixed Concrete today to be eligible for a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with Ready Mixed Concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
The Friends with Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning here in Lincoln would like to take this time out to thank our first responders, doctors, nurses, and the healthcare professionals who put their lives in harm's way for our protection. Blood donation centers need people to donate blood. Be a silent hero and donate blood today. It will help accident victims, surgery patients, sick children, and members of our military. This message is from Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning here in Lincoln. Let's stay united and keep America safe and strong.
Ever look at your house and think, ouch, it's stuck in the past? Or realize that your kitchen needs a new everything? Like thousands of homeowners, you can simply call SprayNet Lincoln. Their patented spray system and paint delivers a flawless factory finish. No mess, done in a day, and cost-effective. It looks just like new, including your vinyl. And it's all backed by their 15-year no-peel warranty. SprayNet Lincoln, custom chemistry and smarter painting. Google SprayNet Lincoln or call them now at 402-383-3336 or email ching@spray-net.com.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again. Joining me in a few moments is Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln. Before I bring Andy on, I would like to share something with you, something that I think is very important for you. By now, most people in Lincoln know that Honda of Lincoln is a great place to buy or lease a new Honda. What most people don't know is Honda of Lincoln is also a great place to sell your car, too. Now I'd like to bring on Andy to tell you more about it.
Thanks, Charlie.
Andy, everyone knows you will trade for all makes and models, but can you tell our listeners about buying their car, whether they get a new vehicle or not?
I sure will, Charlie. It's a win-win for both of us. We need more quality used cars, and if anyone needs to sell a car, we will pay them top dollar. It's really just that simple. When they stop by the dealership, just mention to someone they would like to sell their car, and within minutes, we will have them an offer.
Experience the best Honda of Lincoln, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hey there, this is Paul Shield, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Where there's smoke, there's flavor, and there's plenty of that at the Smokehouse at Super Saver in Russ's Market. Award-winning, old-world recipes made in Lincoln since 1984 with many flavors and smoked sausage and brats to choose from. The Smokehouse has something special for every season: brats and sausage for the grill, beef sticks and beef jerky for snacking, and smoked salmon, smoked turkey, and smoked hams for your holiday feast. Stop by the Smokehouse at Super Saver in Russ's Market today to fulfill your search for real flavor.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and new Sierra and Silverado trucks continue to roll in, and August is a great time to upgrade. Right now, get new GMC Sierras for under $50,000, or get 2.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,500 bonus cash. Visit us in Louisville or anytime at koppelcars.com. Stock number G306367 with approved credit.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Now back to In the Pit on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your black shirt hosts, Grant Wistrom and Jason Peter.
Welcome back in. It's In the Pit. Grant Wistrom, Jason Peters, segment number 2. I want to talk some special teams here, but before we do so, I'll shout out our sponsor as always.
Segment 2 of In the Pit is sponsored by Freedom Flooring. They offer flooring from vinyl to hardwood, carpet to tile. 25 years of experience here in the great city of Lincoln, Nebraska. It's better than builder grade. They have a full-time interior designer on staff to help with the selection process. Freedom Flooring is open Monday to Friday from 9 to 5 to 6 p.m. on Thursdays, and Saturday they're open 9 to 1. They provide free estimates and consultations. Freedom Flooring, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Perfect. And if you guys want to join in, again, talk special teams here, 402-464-5685. We've seen what it looks like when special teams are not good. It can be absolutely disastrous in those momentum shifting moments. Last year, we saw a jump. Mike Eckler no longer here now with Brett Maher, former Husker himself. But I say it all the time, learning under from someone is different from running the entire thing yourself. I don't know if confidence is the right word, but what does Brett Maher need to do this year to ensure that that special teams unit does not show regression?
Well, coach soundly, prepare correctly. And I heard last year that guys, they asked players if they wanted to be on special teams.
Yeah.
They actually asked the kids. And, and so first of all, the fact that that was even, they had to ask. When we played, it was volunteer. A lot of ways, that was the only time you're getting on the field. And you had starters on special teams.
He needs access to pretty much all the players.
The entire roster.
Yeah. Right. I mean, obviously, you're probably not going to use the big guys, but some of those defensive ends, linebackers, safeties, absolutely. They should all have to play special teams. I mean, chances are, that will be the way that if they get an opportunity to play at the next level, that's how they'll make the team anyway. So you should start now.
Yeah. And as a freshman, when I came in, played a lot, almost as much as a starter, I was on every single special team.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just, all right, I got to go run down the kickoff. It's like, I get to run down on kickoff.
And then you go right to defense too.
Yeah. And I get another opportunity to make a play to help the team, to better the team, to win a game.
Yeah.
It's just opportunities, and so that's what you want to get. You want him to build excitement, that it's an honor to be on special teams, that it's the third leg of the game, the third piece of the team. And it's as important as offense or defense. We've seen what crappy special teams can do to a team. We need another year that can carry us.
But I also think, and I know Brett, he's a calm dude, right? Like, and most special teams guys that I know have some kind of fire in their belt.
They're wound pretty tight.
They're wound tight. And so I'm not saying he's got to be Mike Eckler. He doesn't have to do everything, but I do think that when you're talking about special teams, is that can be an area where players, especially if you're using some of those defensive guys, on your special. Oh man, I got to go out on kickoff. Like, hey, like coach, get them fired up. Do you know what I mean? Get them fired up. Like that's part of being a special teams coordinator, I believe.
Yeah. And you're looking for the guys that are excited about that, and it might not be the guy that you're like, oh, this guy's going to, this guy runs a 4.340. He's going to get down there fast. No, Ben Butenbach was a hell of a special teams player just because he wanted to run right through your face every single time, every opportunity he got. He wasn't the fastest guy out there, but he was always around the pile at the end of the play.
But you can go back and you can look and see Carlos Polk running down there, Kyle Vanden Bosch, all these guys that played on Sundays for a long time, but when they were young or not young, sophomores, juniors, I'm guessing, some of them still did it as seniors, but that's just part of it, right? Like, and part of also why you be a great conditioned team.
Yeah.
Right. That goes back to another thing that we always talk about is be the best conditioned team in the country.
Well, we have off of YouTube, Go Bear Captain. I think it is a good point. Like, special teams is all about effort. And I think on top of that, bad special teams units are sometimes indicative of the entire team itself. If you can't get the special teams effort part, I feel like you'll see it on some position groups on defense and offense on top of it.
It's reflective of the entire culture of the team. You know what I mean? If you've got a team that's excited about special teams, you're going to have a good offense and defense too, because obviously they're probably playing in one of those, on either side of the ball there. So how your special teams go, I think, is probably a great barometer of how your entire team operates.
Well, especially when you talk about going on the road. I mean, it's the saying every time we'd pack up. We're pack your defense and special teams, right? Like those two have to travel. They have to travel. I mean, obviously you want your offense to do well, but offense is going to get thrown into the lion's den, on a road game. So you need your defense to show up, and you need your special teams to, without question, not cost you, but at least hold it even.
Well, just thinking of last year, special teams is such a big part, I think, of why Nebraska was able to go win 7 games.
Absolutely.
You have that Northwestern halftime kickoff return touchdown. You swing the Michigan State game early because of the special teams. I think it was a blocked punt that they're able to get in for a touchdown. There was enough special teams heroics throughout that year where if they don't happen, maybe that's 1 more, 2 more losses. Yeah. It is such a devastating thing, momentum. And for how much we play Iowa, we should understand the importance of special teams. It can be that final point in a game. We got Gus Mohawk chiming in, wanting to know, who's your special teams coordinator and how much of a role, if any, did Osborne have when it came to talking to special teams units?
I think T.O. was in every special teams meeting, everyone, because we'd usually special teams would meet before the team meeting, and T.O. was always in there.
Yeah, and I think it was just coaching by committee on special teams. Like we didn't have a special teams coordinator.
I mean, they have 3 coaches now for special teams. You know what I mean? Right. Every position has 3 or 4 coaches.
I think there's like 80, and we can spend the next time. The coaching staffs are so big, you should have it covered. Is all
the entire football staff is at least 3 times the size of, say, what Scott had.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that. And obviously some of it have been rules that have just been put in with pretty much having, you can have, I don't know if it's unlimited amount of coaches per position.
I don't know how it works, but the amount of analysts you can bring in now is the
but
same.
you got analysts,
Yeah.
and then I think there's 3 on-field coaches that I know of, some positions that have 3 on-field coaches. So yeah, I mean, you're, especially with this shrunken roster now, like that's a lot of kind of personal attention that players are getting.
Is that always a good thing to have? And this is not just Nebraska. You go look at all these college football teams. They all have just 100 coaches, it feels like. Is it always good to have that many voices in the room?
Yeah. Can't have too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, I think especially it becomes a problem when the message isn't always the same.
Yeah.
If you've got one coach saying this is, especially if it's the head position coach there, it's like, this is the way it's done. Then you got another guy going, maybe you can do it this way. There's got to be one voice. If you've got that many coaches, there just has to be one voice.
There are a lot of stories of assistant coaches sabotaging coordinators, and that stuff happens, man. Because those guys, they want his job too. Now it's not right, and those guys, I think if people eventually find that out about you, then you ultimately have a hard time.
Yeah.
Your window of people that are willing to hire you becomes smaller and smaller.
Well, I can't remember what the kids game is where it's like you talk into the phone, then you pass the next person.
Yeah, telephone game.
Yeah, the telephone. It's like, even if it's not intentional, I just wonder, with that many voices and that many opinions, do you end up, even if they're trying to keep that same message, you got that big of a staff, eventually you're going to have some variations in it. Let's hear a little bit from Maher, though. Let's stick to special teams before we go to our next break. Here's him. You guys talked about just getting himself more comfortable in the current role of special teams coordinator.
Getting more comfortable every day. There are still some new things, that catch me off guard, or you got to adjust on the fly, and figuring out how to do that from a practice plan perspective. And Coach Rule is really good about keeping us on our toes and adjusting the practice. And that gives me a lot more comfortability going into, the first game or the first run of games where that's what you're going to have to do. So getting more comfortable doing that, getting more comfortable running meetings, planning meetings, all of those things that just kind of go along with the job. But every day getting more and more, and, the guys, the coaches make it a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, that's the voice of a first-year guy right there who's, got his coach, his head coach cap on for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
He's still figuring out those things too. And there's nothing wrong with that. You got to cut your teeth somewhere. But, you hope that he's learned enough before he had taken this role that he can just, once we get through this and the practices, that, all right, it's game week. And then he settles in.
But there might not be a bigger a magnifying glass on any position more so than special teams because of what happened with Eckler and the way that was handled. That's just the reality of it, right? Like people remember how bad special teams were, right? And then Mike came in and he raised the level of play, kind of, wasn't great all the way through, but it was a lot better than what we had. I mean, we couldn't even catch a fair catch back there. I mean, people were in the stadium crossing their fingers saying, geez, we don't need to return it. Just catch the damn thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. This thing needs, like I said, this thing kind of at least needs to stay on the same path. If not, obviously you'd like it to get better, but it can't go worse. That will not go over well in Lincoln this year.
No, and I don't think, I'm more optimistic than not optimistic on Brett Maher. He got some early games to figure it out, but he was there underneath Mike Eckler. Hopefully that excitement stays within that special teams unit. With that being said, we'll go ahead and throw it to break. Don't go anywhere in the pit. Grant Wistrom, Jason Peter.
Looking for something different for lunch or dinner in Lincoln? Big 8 is now open at 1226 P Street, serving seafood boils and Asian cuisine. Get your hands messy with fresh, flavorful seafood boils. Hot, bold, and made to share. Or enjoy lunch, dinner, or a night out with friends and family. Big flavors, generous portions, a brand new dining experience. Big 8, now open in Lincoln.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again. Joining me in a few moments is Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln. Before I bring Andy on, I would like to share something with you, something that I think is very important for you. By now, most people in Lincoln know that Honda of Lincoln is a great place to buy or lease a new Honda. What most people don't know is Honda of Lincoln is also a great place to sell your car, too. Now I'd like to bring on Andy to tell you more about it.
Thanks, Charlie.
Andy, everyone knows you will trade for all makes and models, but can you tell our listeners about buying their car, whether they get a new vehicle or not?
I sure will, Charlie. It's a win-win for both of us. We need more quality used cars, and if anyone needs to sell a car, we will pay them top dollar. It's really just that simple. When they stop by the dealership, just mention to someone they would like to sell their car, and within minutes, we will have them an offer.
Experience the best Honda of Lincoln, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Meet your new obsession, the Amigos Crunchadilla. Not a burrito, not a quesadilla. The Crunchadilla is a salsa tortilla filled with a unique blend of quesadilla flavors, then crisped to perfection for a crunch you'll crave. Loaded with melty cheese, crispy tortilla strips, and of course, Amigos' famous ranch. Get your choice of 4 boldly flavored meats, like Southwest chicken or chorizo, all topped with bacon. Crispy, craveable, and made to crush your hunger. The Crunchadilla, only at Amigos. Amigos value meals are getting an upgrade, with more of the bold, fresh flavors you love. Now we have 9 options for only $5, $6, or $7. With fries and a small drink, these are full meals for a small price. There's something for everyone with the new Chicken Ranchero Burrito or Quesadilla Snackers. Even Amigos favorites like the Soft Meat Burrito or Crisp Pinto are now in value meals. With a deal this good, we'll be seeing you all the time at Amigos.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Your line just went down. Production stopped. A supervisor wants answers, and someone's digging through a binder for the maintenance history. Every one of those minutes costs money, and most of the time, that breakdown could have been prevented. That's where MaintainX comes in. MaintainX catches the failure before it happens. Preventive maintenance plans on every key asset to improve reliability. Work orders assigned and tracked right from your phone. Everyone from the floor to the front office is in the loop. Real-time dashboards give managers instant visibility into what's been completed, what's overdue, and where the bottlenecks are. No more guesswork. Just a smarter, faster maintenance operation. Companies on MaintainX have cut unplanned downtime by over 30% and saved thousands on parts and labor every year. See what it can do for your operation. Try MaintainX free at maintainx.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Ever look at your house and think, ouch, it's stuck in the past? Or realize that your kitchen needs a new everything? Like thousands of homeowners, you can simply call SprayNet Lincoln. Their patented spray system and paint delivers a flawless factory finish. No mess, done in a day, and cost-effective. It looks just like new, including your vinyl. And it's all backed by their 15-year no-peel warranty. SprayNet Lincoln, custom chemistry and smarter painting. Google SprayNet Lincoln or call them now at 402-383-3336 or email ching@spray-net.com.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built upon hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with room for advancement.
Where there's smoke, there's flavor, and there's plenty of that at the Smokehouse at Super Saver in Russ's Market. Award-winning, old world recipes made in Lincoln since 1984 with many flavors and smoked sausage and brats to choose from. The Smokehouse has something special for every season: brats and sausage for the grill, beef sticks and beef jerky for snacking, and smoked salmon, smoked turkey, and smoked hams for your holiday feast. Stop by the Smokehouse at Super Saver in Russ's Market today to fulfill your search for real flavor.
Building a new home can be a challenge, a lot of big choices. With our Remington homes, we have designed 15 different floor plans that appeal to a wide range of people.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, painted trim, wood floors, more stone, all options with our Remington homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. You're able to get what you really want in a home for a great price with very limited stress. And that's what Remington homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
School's starting soon, but summer's not over yet. Keep grilling those burgers and hot dogs, but don't toss that empty bun bag. With Loaves for Learning, every UPC from Village Hearth Bun packages is worth 5 cents for your school. Earn up to $10,000 this year just by eating what you love. Grill now, give back later with Village Hearth and Loaves for Learning.
Now back to In the Pit on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your black shirt hosts, Grant Wistrom and Jason Peter.
Welcome back in. It's In the Pit. Taking a little bit of break from college football. We'll hit on some NFL before going back to the CFB. But in the NFL, Roger Goodell was quoted saying that there is no doubt the NFL will have teams based outside the U.S. I had a couple of questions for you on the short segment. A, is that a good idea? They are really going to do this. Is there certain locations, cities, countries that you think would be an actual fit?
Well, I let the more cultured person here talk about European cities.
That's true.
Yeah.
Although you used to have a house in Mexico, so you'd be qualified to talk about
that's
that.
true.
I just don't see what.
Money.
For what? I know it's for money.
Yeah.
I know it's for money, but it's going to put more strain on travel. On the players. You already. It was a big enough topic when they added, the 17th game or whatever it is, and talking about, players are getting compensated more, I guess, for playing now an extra game. But I don't know. Well, like Canada, maybe I could see it.
Yeah. Like, what are the odds that the teams, if they're located outside of North, South America, Central America, like that they'll ever compete for a championship just based on travel? Like, because you would assume they would probably play 2 at home, fly across, play 2, games in the States.
Right.
And that's, I get it. It's about money, but like to think that they're ever going to be competitive.
Well, you have the East Coast teams when they fly out to California, you're looking at a 5-hour flight, somewhere around there, 4.5, 5 hours. I'm sure with, we usually mean, you remember we usually got places quicker than when we were just taking a regular flight to go on vacation or something. And then but for those East Coast teams then to go to Europe, you're looking at 6-hour flight, I believe it is. But what happens when it's the West Coast teams that have to go to Europe?
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. It's I don't know. And I don't, it's an American sport.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, Paris, no way. Like, if
Those are just cities they've played in before.
Yeah.
What's that?
The cities, the ones I've named, they just played. Well, they're gonna play in Paris, but those are just the only ideas I'd have.
It was
they really want to do it.
Bad enough when I was in Seattle, we had to play in Tampa on a Monday night.
Right.
Like, we got home at like 2:00 in the morning, or no, like actually it was more like 7:00 the next morning back to Seattle. I mean, that sucked, and it just murdered your next week. To think about flying, across the Atlantic Ocean to play a game and then come back, and I'm sure they would schedule it, try to schedule it fairly, but there's just
well, and then all the time zone differences, the logistics of it stink. In my mind, that's why I'm surprised Goodell made that statement of pretty clearly, like, yes, we're going to do that, because even if you want to keep it in the Americas, what's the CFL think about having an NFL team up there in Canada?
Yeah.
You want to go to South America? There's always been issues, with that security and stuff like that. Like, you have players really comfortable living in other places that, it's just, you're putting a lot out there logistically that I don't know if you fully have the blueprint for.
Tell us what the goal is, right? I mean, is the goal to have, 10 teams over in Europe, or I mean, what exactly is it? Because like you said, Grant, like, it's an American sport, right? Like, just is. There's nothing wrong. I mean, you got 32 teams right now, which seems to be plenty enough. Like, there's enough bad teams. Do we actually need to start more bad franchises that are disconnected from our continent?
And just Google if you're a player playing there, you're probably going to pay about 20% more in income tax in Canada.
That's right.
Think about that. Yeah, I would be like, nope, not going.
Better sign a deal for some maple syrup. A lot of maple syrup.
Yeah, like, just think about that. Like, I just Googled it. The tax rate can reach 53% there, where in U.S. it's about, it says 37 to 45%. That's a big chunk of change you're losing.
I mean, where in Canada you have some options. You have Vancouver, right? Like, that's pretty happening city. Toronto.
Yeah, technically the MLB and NBA are international already, but it's just keeping it with North America and Canada.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I could see you putting a few up in Canada, but like you said, how's the CFL going to react to that? I don't know what the connection is between the CFL and the NFL.
I just mentioned the CFL is like, boy, if we start bringing in NFL teams, our brand goes even further down the toilet, because people are going to be watching the NFL more than the CFL. And that's where I think the CFL just wouldn't be super pleased to it. But that's what Roger Goodell says. So we'll have to wait and see if that comes to fruition.
I mean, European countries, I guess you'll be probably taking some of the fan base away from the WNBA as well, too. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. You know how some of these European countries are right now. All right.
Well, that being said, we'll go ahead and throw it to break. Don't go anywhere. We got hour number 2 coming up next. Defend the Pick, Grant Wistrom, Jason Peter, Harrison on the board. Don't go anywhere. 93.7 The Ticket.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2026 Ford F-150 for $195 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1009974. 195 per month lease for 36 months with approved credit. 7,500 miles per year. 10,000 due at signing. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 8/31/26.
The Friends with the Garage Floor Company here in Lincoln would like to take this time out to thank our first responders, doctors, nurses, and the healthcare professionals who put their lives in harm's way for our protection. Blood donation centers need people to donate blood. Be a silent hero and donate blood today. It will help accident victims, surgery patients, sick children, and members of our military. This message is from the Garage Floor Company here in Lincoln. Let's stay united and keep America safe and strong.
Where there's smoke, there's flavor, and there's plenty of that at the Smokehouse at Super Saver in Russ's Market. Award-winning Old World recipes made in Lincoln since 1984 with many flavors and smoked sausage and brats to choose from. The Smokehouse has something special for every season: brats and sausage for the grill, beef sticks and beef jerky for snacking, and smoked salmon, smoked turkey, and smoked hams for your holiday feast. Stop by the Smokehouse at Super Saver in Russ's Market today to fulfill your search for real flavor.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Building a new home can be a challenge, a lot of big choices. With our Remington homes, we have designed 15 different floor plans that appeal to a wide range of people.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, painted trim, wood floors, more stone, all options with our Remington homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. You're able to get what you really want in a home for a great price with very limited stress. And that's what Remington homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Let me share something to make life just a little easier. It's just one word: Bryant. If we need service on our furnace or AC, we call Bryant. Same thing goes for an electrical issue. If I have a problem with my faucet, a toilet, a drain, or a water heater, I don't need to know how to fix something. I just need to know who to call. And at our house, it's Bryant.
Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Just one call. 467-1111. Remember, we do whatever it takes.
Your line just went down. Production stopped. A supervisor wants answers. And someone's digging through a binder for the maintenance history. Every one of those minutes costs money, and most of the time, that breakdown could have been prevented. That's where MaintainX comes in. MaintainX catches the failure before it happens. Preventive maintenance plans on every key asset to improve reliability. Work orders assigned and tracked right from your phone. Everyone from the floor to the front office is in the loop. Real-time dashboards give managers instant visibility into what's been completed, what's overdue, and where the bottlenecks are. No more guesswork. Just a smarter, faster maintenance operation. Companies on MaintainX have cut unplanned downtime by over 30% and saved thousands on parts and labor every year. See what it can do for your operation. Try MaintainX free at maintainx.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934. 8934 HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Doren. God bless you.
Meet your new obsession, the Amigos Crunchadilla. Not a burrito, not a quesadilla. The Crunchadilla is a salsa tortilla filled with a unique blend of quesadilla flavors, then crisped to perfection for a crunch you'll crave. Loaded with melty cheese, crispy tortilla strips, and of course, Amigos' famous ranch. Get your choice of 4 boldly flavored meats, like Southwest chicken or chorizo, all topped with bacon. Crispy, craveable, and made to crush your hunger. The Crunchadilla, only at Amigos. Amigos value meals are getting an upgrade with more of the bold, fresh flavors you love. Now we have 9 options for only $5, $6, or $7. With fries and a small drink, these are full meals for a small price. There's something for everyone with the new Chicken Ranchero Burrito or Quesadilla Snackers. Even Amigos favorites like the soft meat burrito or crisp pinto are now in value meals. With a deal this good, we'll be seeing you all the time at Amigos.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop in Eustis, Cozad, Grand Island, Kearney, Lexington, and Lincoln.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built upon hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with room for advancement.
Hop in the pit if you dare. It's time to join 2 Husker legends in the trenches. Jason Peter.
And here is a fake. Druckenmiller on the keeper, loses the football. It's picked up by the Huskers, and they're going to run it in. Jason Peter for the score. Jason Peter, the man of the hour right now for the Big Red, as Nebraska now takes a 16-7 lead. The Hokies.
And Grant Wistrom.
Trying to open things up a little bit now. Here is a pass, and it's intercepted by Grant Wistrom. Takes it in for the score.
Are ready to take you inside the hallowed halls of Memorial Stadium. From the locker room to the sidelines and deep into the stories behind the biggest wins in Nebraska football history. It's time for In the Pit on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your hosts, Grant Wistrom and Jason Peter.
Welcome back in. It is In the Pit. Hour number 2, sponsored by Lincoln Children's Museum. Football Saturdays are back, and the Lincoln Children's Museum has a game plan for your youngster fans. Game day play dates give kids ages 5 to 12 their own unforgettable game day while you enjoy the action inside the stadium. You can drop them off 90 minutes before kickoff, pick them up an hour after the game ends. It is new this year, so keep an eye on for that. Announcing it a little bit early, but that'll be a big deal coming up for those Husker football games at the Lincoln Children's Museum. We did get some audio from Corey Brown, defensive line coach as well. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on some of the things that he has to say. We'll kick it off with this. Here is Brown on the current defensive line depth.
Yeah, I feel confident that the depth, these guys have been working hard. So I like their approach. The guys have been having it day by day. But it's definitely something where it's a lot of competitive going on. It's a healthy competition. So I think that there'll be some guys that emerge from this competition that are doing some things consistently that we look for on a day-to-day and practice out game basis. But that healthy competition is still going on. So I'm excited about who will emerge and finalize those spots.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally nobody from last year that played well enough that should be ahead of anybody in this year's camp. So that's the way it should be. I mean, camp's not technically over yet, right? I mean, they're out of the dorms and maybe in their eyes it's over, but like it's still, you're still fighting, right? Yeah. Like you're still trying to earn your spot. Yeah, I mean, that's what they need. They need competition everywhere and keep the competition going. I mean, it needs to carry on all the way through the season, but especially here before anybody is announced as a starter or what have you. Just continue to let them battle it out. right? That should keep their motors going, right?
Yeah. And like we touched on earlier, fear is a great motivator. You know, if you're constantly concerned about your job and your job security, you're probably going to work a little bit harder. So the fact that, you know, Jason was right, there wasn't anybody that, you know, demonstrated last year that they have a spot. So if that's the case, then you've got to have 4 guys out there. You know, everybody's competing for those 4 top spots every single day up until probably Ohio, you know, the week before the game, you know, is when maybe it should be solidified, because there just really aren't any dominant players right there that we've seen.
But and they'll need more than, I mean, 4 will obviously be the starters, but you're going to need 8.
Yep.
Right. And at the minimum, you need 6, right? You need 1 guy that can play both interiors, and then an end at the minimum that can play both right and left end. But ideally, you'd like to have 8 at least. So that's the goal. I don't know. It's going to be, I mean, defense to me that's where the eyes are just going to go. I mean, it's going to be fun to see what they can do. You know, we've heard a lot about Orich and the you know, mad scientist and being a genius and all that. And boy, I hope it's true. But I'm excited to see you know, what these new group of coaches can do.
Is 1 year enough time for him to get in there? I'm blanking on the guy. He went back to the Kansas City Chiefs, but our old defensive line coach. But after he
Terry Braden.
Thank you. He heads down back with the Kansas City Chiefs. But is that enough time in a room to where, on the one side, it's probably a good thing that we're starting from zero evaluation wise, because no one really should have that spot heading into it. But to get that defensive line group ready, understand the system, I feel like it's pretty reasonable in 1 year. Or no, does that take time?
This is college football nowadays, though. Like, you're coaching kind of a new team, you know, every year. You may have, you know, a few holdovers, I think, but a lot will, you know, some will transfer out. You'll have some new come in. So is 1 enough? I mean, probably not. I mean, you'd love to have more time with them, but this is the world that we're living in right now. I mean, when the head coach is going into his 4th year and things haven't gone well really up to this point, then, you know, you're kind of forced to make changes. And then those guys are operating on like 1 year kind of deals, you know. Not that I think, you know, the conversation of anyone being fired is not happening anytime soon. But yeah, I think that D-line's going to need, in order to be a competent defense, to be average, you got to be somewhat strong up front, right? Like, to be good, to be great, you got to have some dudes up front. Do we have them? I don't know. And just like with the offensive line, I'm not going to say one way or the other. I like the additions that they've made on offense. On defense, do I like the additions as much as what on offense? No, I don't. But that doesn't mean that they still can't be a functional operating defense that can keep you in games or maybe win you a game.
Yeah, and I feel like on the field, defense is a place where, yeah, it would be nice to have more continuity, you know, more than 1 year. But I do feel like defensively,
that's the side of the ball that you could do it.
Yeah, you can pull it off there if you've got the right guy calling the plays. If it's a simple defense, if it's purely about being fast and being physical, you know, and you're not trying to out-coach people. You've got the Jimmies and Joes out there,
which they have said that's kind of their motto is this year. Yeah. Simple,
fast, and physical, or something. Yeah. You know, and so yeah, I think you can pull it off there, but you got to have guys that are already wired in a way that it's just run into the football with your hair on for every time. Yeah, you know, play until the whistle blows every snap, going out and fighting for your brother. You know, there does need to be chemistry there, and the more time under task that you're able to build that chemistry, you will be better, but you can pull it off on defense.
But don't kid yourself. Everything is coming down to the defensive line. Like, that is just the reality of it. If they can't hold up front, then the linebackers are peeling their own guys off of them. Secondary, they don't even have a shot. So that's just the reality of it. If you are not good up front, and especially if you are not good in the middle, you are going to have a hard time.
Yeah, especially with this year's schedule. There's enough teams that are going to have enough physicality if you're not locked in at that position group. I thought this was interesting. Here's again, Coach Corey Brown, defensive line coach, on what it means to have quote unquote heavy hands.
No, I definitely would say it's a direct correlation to what you do in the weight room. All those, the lifts you do. They're also your grip has to be strong, but there's things you can do in the weight room to work on your grip strength as well. And then the placement is really huge because you got to be able to grab cloth, and it's something that's a fight day in, play out for the offensive line being taught the same thing. To get their hands inside and be tight with it. But all those coaching points as far as having elbows no tight with your thumbs up and trying to make sure you land and locate them, it's a race every day between you and a good offensive line to do that. And that's what's helped us as well. Like in the spring I talked about it, but we battle against a good offensive line. So if you miss with them, you're going to be in a disadvantageous situation. So you got to rebite them and go from there.
Yeah. Doing grips, we never really did a ton of like extra grip stuff. We just did the weight room stuff, and usually that should be good. I would be more stressing the quick hands, right, and the placement, right? Like that's technique, right? All these guys down there look like they can at least put 3 plates on each side, and they should be able to.
I never was.
Well, no. And you talked about it last week about how, gym strength is not a requirement or necessity. And I would say for the ends more so, right? Like you can really impact a defensive end position with just get off. Yeah. Remember Javon Curse, the freak, right? Like that was like watching him just take off out of his stance. Like he was literally around the offensive tackle in 2 steps. Yeah. It was a freak. He was a freak. But the interior guys, it's a different story. Like you got to have some strength. Like I don't want dudes putting 225 on the bar and getting it for like 16 times. All right. Come on. Like I can do that now at 51 years old. Probably. I don't try it. So I can't have a guaranteed answer for you, but I would assume that I could probably still do that. But you got to be able to move some weight. You need some strong guys in the middle to hold up, and usually the guys that are in the gym or that like being in the gym or don't mind being in the gym, those are usually the guys like that are okay with the physicality part of it. Yeah. Like they like contact. They like running into people. The guys that didn't like to lift weights or were weak or, had fried egg titties. I know I can't say titties, but
especially not twice in the same sentence.
Those guys, they usually were softer.
Yeah. But it's refreshing to hear a coach just hammering on fundamentals. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're not talking about all scheme and blah, blah, blah. It's hand placement. It's heavy hands. It's being, he didn't mention it, but, getting your hands on the offensive line before he gets them on you. Yeah. That wins battles right there. And so just if that's getting hammered into him, the guys every single day, then the other things probably are too. And that's what it's built on is the fundamentals.
Well, let's hear from a potential couple of guys that he shouts out for interior defensive line improvements.
One, I would think as far as their bodies, getting their bodies in shape, I think Ms. Chris, the nutrition coach, Campbell, this guy, they do a great job getting their bodies ready. And then as it pertains to technique, really just knowing how they can anchor down, that they put themselves in position to do this. And then the transition pass rush is really huge. Sometimes conference is a little bit different, but in my opinion, you got to be a great transition pass rusher inside. It's not always you're going to be in that third and long situation to be with the wide alignment, attacking and working this, elite pass rush move. A lot of times it's going to be hands inside, transitioning from there. So they've gotten better, at being strong with their hands, working snatches and disengages to be better transition pass rushers.
So Stoudemire and Winnington, interesting. He does shout out the transfers of the whole group so far.
Yeah, well, that's the toughest thing to do as a defensive lineman is to play the run and then transition into your pass rush, because these offensive linemen are taught to just get their hands on you and hold you, right? So it's tough to get separation when you're kind of already engaged, which is why it's so important to get your hands on them first before they're able to get those mitts on you. But yeah, we'll see. You obviously have to work your entire game, but for me, I almost wouldn't mind an approach by them now that they're running a 4-man front, similar to what we did, where Christian and I, especially early on, like in 94, 95, like the interior guys we were run to pass.
Yep.
Right. The guys on the edge, like Grant and Jared and Dante and Dwayne and all them, they were pass to run. Right. So those guys are your true pass rushers. Like those are the guys that got to get home. Like nobody's counting on, the nose guard providing that plays big rush. There may come times where you hope that your nose guard and your 3 technique or whatever their technique they're playing inside can get to the quarterback and provide that push, so that quarterbacks have a hard time stepping up into their throw. But yeah, for me, I got to see something from these ends this year. They got to be able, when we got to get home, there's got to be someone that's getting there,
Yeah. And, pass rush was lacking last year. Yeah. And so, but you're right. You got to have it plugged up the middle. Yeah. And even for me as an end, I played the run and then reacted to the pass,
right.
And because Charlie hammered that home,
right.
Got to stop the run first. We got to make them one-dimensional. Right. So, if you can stop the run, get them in 3rd and long, it's a heck of a lot easier to play the pass. So it's always run to pass, I think up front.
I want to ask you on that defensive end, like last year, just watching it, there's times like if we couldn't get home and we couldn't contain either. Like what was some of the biggest things that you saw last year and kind of watching the football team technique wise that we just, without, I'm saying anybody's names, that you were just seeing consistently we weren't doing properly?
Well, it's just hard when on any given play a team can run it or throw it, right? Like that's what we talk about, like making a team one-dimensional, force them into those passing situations where that they're passing. Now we can get those defenses like over and under go, where you got everybody up front, just high tails, asses up in the air. We're in sprinter stances and we are hitting that thing, man. You are like Charlie used to say, he wanted to see the skin on your eyeballs peeling. And so the more that you can dictate what the offense is doing, the better, it is in terms of rushing the passer. I mean, when you can force them into throwing the ball and that they're throwing the ball, that makes life a whole lot easier.
Yeah. And I don't think you can just hammer down on one thing. I think it's, not being able to stop the run, if you're constantly guessing, they run or they pass, then you're behind the 8 ball already. But so you got to make them one-dimensional. But as specifically, I think guys getting off the ball quicker. I mean, you can never get off the ball quick enough. Contain. You got to maintain your gap integrity. If you've got a quarterback, which almost all teams have a mobile quarterback now, you can't have a defensive end getting 15 yards up the field and your D tackle getting washed inside and open up a huge lane. So you got to maintain your gap integrity.
How much you're going off like tendencies that you maybe saw on tape or you're picking up like throughout the game?
A lot. That comes back to film study. You shouldn't be surprised. Jason touched on it last show, looking for the weight in their knuckles. Is he on his heels? Which ways is he looking inside at the ball to get off quick on the snap, or because you're playing at home, they can't hear the snap count.
Depth of a lineman's foot.
Yeah.
And you may not get it you may not figure it out until the end of the second quarter, maybe even into the second half. But if when you do figure it out, then it's like, okay,
gotcha.
now I got you.
Let's get to one more quote here, and then we'll go ahead and throw it to our final break here. Or not final break. We got 2 more breaks to go. But here's a little bit more, again, just more on the depth. Some of the guys been talking about. Riley Van Poppel's been talked about a lot as a guy that you hope to see step up, continue to develop. Here is Brown and Ryan Van Poppel's growth, or Riley Van Poppel's growth.
I would say finish, man. That's definitely something that he knows. And, you don't get a chance to sometimes tackle live all the time throughout camp. But when you are in like a third tackle situation for a defensive lineman, it's really the next best thing. you have to take that extra step to be in good position to near foot, near shoulder, thud a guy up. You can do it in an individual drill, but putting in a team setting, that'll be the thing that carries over, to a game setting. So I think he understands it, he knows it. And then the next factor for everybody, like I say, is being a good pass rusher as well. And the stronger he is with his hands and being consistent with his hand placement, that's going to allow him to, be a dude in that, transition pass rush mode. And then along those lines, as always, you should always, if you don't get to the quarterback, be able to affect it with match hands. And that's something I think he can get done on a consistent basis. But that is going into how detailed he is in his rush lanes to the Q, and then finishing if he doesn't get there with that match hand.
Yeah. I mean, I know Riley from when I was down there. I like Riley. He needs to have a much better year this year. He knows that. He's certainly capable of it. I mean, there's not many guys that kind of make me feel small, not necessarily small, but like much. I mean, he's obviously currently playing, so he's current 305-pounder or whatever, but he's even taller than me. I'm 6'5.25". He's got to be 6'6", I think, and he's just a massive human being, and they need him to play well. He needs to play with better leverage. He needs to play with better hands. He needs to get off blocks and fly your ass to the football. Like, that's just what has to happen for Riley to take that next step. But
6'5", 305, by the way.
He's got to be taller, and so he's. I would guess he's maybe grown an inch. Maybe that was.
That's just what they have him listed.
Yeah.
Could be taller.
Yeah, you've been lying on your driver's license.
You're still bitter about that? You always thought, I think this guy always thought he was taller than me. And then I think we went to the combine and he got measured at, was 6'3"?
No, I was like 6'4".
Were you 6'3.5"?
No, 6. I don't even remember.
Yeah, you were 6. I think you were 6'5".
Yeah.
I think you were 6'5", but they measured me at 6'5.25". So NFL, that's as legit as you're going to get. And I just made sure I stood up, chin up.
You put your nose up, didn't you?
That's right.
So, hey, I got a question, though. Legit question. What's match hands? I've never heard that term. He said match hand, right? Like 2 or 3 times in that quote. I don't know what it means. I'm just curious.
I don't know.
Like when you get to the quarterback, you got a match hand or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
like
so the quarterback's throwing. You
get
want
your hand in his way.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, you want to have left hand coming out that way. So I think that's what he's talking about.
That makes sense.
It's amazing. You would be surprised at the new terminology,
the new
and
lingo,
stuff that they use.
the buzzwords.
Like, there were times I had to ask Mike Dawson. I'd be like, "What is that? What do you mean? What are you trying to do? What are they trying to do to us?" I've never heard of that referenced that way before. Yeah.
What'd you guys call it then? If not match hand.
Well, just get your hands up.
Get your hands up.
Get your hands up.
I mean, I think that's part of it. Like, it's there's just get your hands up.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, you should be intelligent enough to know that, right? Yeah. Like, okay, like if he's throwing the ball over there and he's the quarterback's a righty, I'm not going to lift up my right. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, and usually at that point you've got some 330-pound slob hanging on to you, so you're getting whatever hand you can.
Whatever you can. Yeah. I know. They make it kind of seem. And I'm not saying that's just Corey Brown. I'm saying coaches in general that are coaching today seem like
maybe it's a cognitive thing where it drills it into you more. I need to
maybe.
I don't know.
Interesting. So we have one comment from Starkey and Ben. Going back to your guys' age argument, he says people do shrink with old age, happens to all of us. So I think he's calling for a remeasure there.
I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to. I am peak physicality right now, other than the degenerative spine that looks like it's been crushed by a truck and bad knees and tear. I get the same with the rotator cuff tear in the shoulder. Thanks to you. Thanks to you. Yeah, let's do this exercise. Yeah.
I did it to myself about a month
that's
later.
Good. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Well, we can go to break on that. Don't go anywhere. It is in the pit. We got 2 more segments to go. 93.7 The Ticket. Talk to you in a bit.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Meet your new obsession, the Amigos Crunchadilla. Not a burrito, not a quesadilla. The Crunchadilla is a salsa tortilla filled with a unique blend of quesadilla flavors, then crisped to perfection for a crunch you'll crave. Loaded with melty cheese, crispy tortilla strips, and of course, Amigos' famous ranch. Get your choice of 4 boldly flavored meats, like Southwest chicken or chorizo, all topped with bacon. Crispy, craveable, and made to crush your hunger. The Crunchadilla, only at Amigos. Amigos value meals are getting an upgrade with more of the bold, fresh flavors you love. Now we have 9 options for only $5, $6, or $7. With fries and a small drink, these are full meals for a small price. There's something for everyone with the new Chicken Ranchero Burrito or Quesadilla Snackers. Even Amigos favorites like the soft meat burrito or crisp pinto are now in value meals. With a deal this good, we'll be seeing you all the time at Amigos.
Your line just went down. Production stopped. A supervisor wants answers, and someone's digging through a binder for the maintenance history. Every one of those minutes costs money, and most of the time, that breakdown could have been prevented. That's where MaintainX comes in. MaintainX catches the failure before it happens. Preventive maintenance plans on every key asset to improve reliability. Work orders assigned and tracked right from your phone. Everyone from the floor to the front office is in the loop. Real-time dashboards give managers instant visibility into what's been completed, what's overdue, and where the bottlenecks are. No more guesswork. Just a smarter, faster maintenance operation. Companies on MaintainX have cut unplanned downtime by over 30% and saved thousands on parts and labor every year. See what it can do for your operation. Try MaintainX free at maintainx.com.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built upon hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with room for advancement.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Let me share something to make life just a little easier. It's just one word, Bryant. If we need service on our furnace or AC, we call Bryant. Same thing goes for an electrical issue. If I have a problem with my faucet, a toilet, a drain, or a water heater, I don't need to know how to fix something. I just need to know who to call. And at our house, it's Bryant.
Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Just one call. 467-1111. Remember, we do whatever it takes.
The Friends with the Garage Floor Company here in Lincoln would like to take this time out to thank our first responders, doctors, nurses, and the healthcare professionals who put their lives in harm's way for our protection. Blood donation centers need people to donate blood. Be a silent hero and donate blood today. It will help accident victims, surgery patients, sick children, and members of our military. This message is from the Garage Floor Company here in Lincoln. Let's stay united and keep America safe and strong.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
School's starting soon, but summer's not over yet. Keep grilling those burgers and hot dogs, but don't toss that empty bun bag. With Loaves for Learning, every UPC from Village Hearth Bun packages is worth 5 cents for your school. Earn up to $10,000 this year just by eating what you love. Grill now, give back later with Village Hearth and Loaves for Learning.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, Open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Here's your updated 93.7 The Ticket forecast, sponsored by Bryant Air Conditioning, Electrical, Heating, and Plumbing. A flood advisory remains in effect. Partly cloudy tonight with a slight chance for storms. Lows around 65. Northeast winds around 5 miles per hour. Highs around 86. Tomorrow, mainly sunny skies. That's your updated forecast on Lincoln's home for the Kansas City Royals. 93.7 The Ticket. I'm meteorologist Carol Foster. Right now, 77.
If you like freedom and you like floors, ditch the box stores and shop Freedom Floor and find the best luxury vinyl, tile, hardwood, laminate, carpet, and experts at Freedom Flooring. Visit our showroom at 4815 South 14th Street in Lincoln. If you like freedom and you like floors, ditch the box stores and shop Freedom Flooring, a Shaw Floors dealer.
Now back to In the Pit on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your black shirt hosts, Grant Wistrom and Jason Peter.
Welcome back in the pit. 2 more segments to go. Take a little bit of break off the audio clips. We'll have plenty more of those to come from as we get closer to Husker football. Let's talk a little bit about the coaching tiers, see where you guys agree or disagree. The Athletic put this together, and they have Tier 1, the standard, being Curt Cignetti and Kirby Smart. Just those 2 alone sit at the top.
I mean, I obviously think Cignetti has figured out the right formula, I think. Well, we'll see. I mean, obviously, he had the strong second year, or was it the first year that was strong, and then the second year he won it, right?
Yeah, I mean, first year he made the college football playoff.
So
second year
he's got it figured out. Kirby, I mean, Georgia's my pick for the SEC. If we're picking a team to win national championship out of the SEC, I'm going to say Georgia. He's a dog, and he is working them. It's the first time, I just was reading an article the other day. It was the first time that I've heard the comment made that I've said about what NFL scouts would say when they would come to our practices was, how in the world do you guys do this? They're talking about what's happening down there at Georgia right now. So I know, and it's the same things that's being said. NFL scouts are going in there, and obviously the scale is off a little bit, right? Because you probably had more teams, that practice much more physically back in the day than today. But I just think that when you take that approach, that you're going to outwork everybody, right? And that was, I mean, I'm pretty sure that was one of our sayings, like within like the group was outwork everybody. Like that's what we would say, outwork everybody. I think not playing for championships here recently. I'm guessing he's highly motivated. And when you hear stuff about, and obviously they have an enormous amount of talent down there, when you make the talent into hard workers, watch out. So, yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with those 2. I'm trying to think who else around the block could be also mentioned.
And this is also, I should say, their entire coaching career collectively. So it's not just going off of last season.
Okay.
So I'm actually right there with Georgia. The stuff that's interesting for Kirby Smart, and I'm really curious what this year looks like, is he was dominating, and then the NIL thing really started coming through, and that's what he's battling with currently. Now he has developed guys, like if you can identify Stetson Bennett, make him into like one of the best quarterbacks in college football at the time, I think he's still up there, certainly at that Tier 1. Tier 2, they have established winners. Well, I'll just go through the list. You guys can tell me if anyone stick out in particular. Mario Cristobal with Miami, Ryan Day, Ohio State, Kalen DeBoer, Alabama, James Franklin now with Virginia Tech, Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame, Lane Kiffin, LSU, Dan Lanning Oregon, Sarkisian at Texas, Sweeney, Clemson, and Kyle Whittingham, former Utah coach, now at Michigan.
I like seeing Whittingham in there. I think that's what we've talked about before. A guy that's done, more with less.
Mhm.
So, going to Michigan, I think that'll elevate his status quite a bit. Once he's had a couple of years under his belt there.
Terrifies me, him being in the Big Ten now.
I really like Cristobal. I really like what he's done at Miami. They are definition of physicality, right? And it is just a matter of time before they win a natty down there. They have all the resources that you could imagine. They really embrace their past, their tradition. Like guys and it's Miami, like when you're picking those kids up from the airport, right? And you put mom in one car and take her down to the academic center, and you take that kid down to the nude beach. Yeah, it's enticing.
And we're going to compete for national championships.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're going to give you $1 million to play this next year. Yeah. All right.
They paid that kid from Nixa, Missouri, just for my bedroom, that Jackson Cantwell.
Yeah.
Out of high school.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
He was the number 1 OT, I think. Right? Yeah.
I think his mom and dad ran track up here.
At Nebraska?
Yeah.
Really?
I think they're both Olympians.
Oh, so that's how we kind of we were outside shot there. Yeah. But I really like Cristobal. I think he's the type of guy that I would want to play for.
Mm-hmm.
He's tough, he's demanding, he's an alpha. Absolutely. Like I could, and Jersey's obviously a big recruiting base they don't have to leave Florida, but when they do, they like to come up east and snag usually, Jersey's best talent or Connecticut.
Are you guys kind of surprised Ryan Day didn't crack that top tier?
A little bit. Yeah. I mean, I think he's
I think I would put him in the top tier.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you got to give him credit. Like
last year he was in the second tier, and this is again now he's in that second tier.
Yeah.
It's tough to win a championship. He's won a championship.
Yeah, yes. The last 3 years he's won one.
Right. So to me, I don't know if it Ohio State was built when he took over. I don't know if that's part of it.
Yeah.
Like Cristobal kind of took over, right? Like didn't take over. He had to kind of go down there. Who actually was the coach? Manny Diaz before that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had to build down there. It didn't take him long, but he had to build.
I just you got Kalen DeBoer sitting right there with you. And I didn't get no problems with DeBoer, but he's just not in the same ballpark with Ryan Day.
Right. No.
It's so cutthroat, I think, down there. Do you know?
That's what it was for Ryan Day. They're talking about firing him the year he won a national championship.
Well, Ohio State views themselves as one of those kind of but yeah, I mean, great. Everybody that I know that knows Ryan Day says he's a stud. Says he's the type of guy that you'd want to play for. So,
well, let's keep going through the tiers till we get to Nebraska. And I'm not going to list every single team in this tier. Consistency with an upside is how they describe tier 3. You have coaches like Jeff Fromm at Louisville, Brett Bielema, Illinois, new coach Bob Chesney, UCLA. You got Lance Leipold down there at Kansas, Lincoln Riley, USC. Wow, he's all the way in tier 3 these days. Kenny Dillingham, the Arizona State head coach, Drinkwitz at Missouri, Sonny Dykes, TCU, Kirk Ferentz is also on this one, PJ Fleck. I think those are all the Big Ten teams. No Matt Rule yet, and we're running out of time, so we'll just get to the Matt Rule category. Matt Rule's down to tier 4, usually solid.
Who's his company down there?
His company's along at Jed Fish, who's at Washington, Luke Fickell with Wisconsin, Pat Fitzgerald over at Michigan State. He's got Brent Key, Georgia Tech, Chuck Martin, Miami, Ohio, I believe that one is. You got Jeff Munkin over there at Army, Eric Morris, Oklahoma State, Narduzzi, Pitt, Barry Odom, Purdue. No offense to Purdue, that's not great company. I think you'd want to find yourself in.
But fair, don't you think? Being in that company,
I think it is fair.
Yeah,
for Matt Rule to be usually solid.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not enough evidence of being successful enough to be in another team. There's
sustained success.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There's just not. And that's not a knock. That's just the reality. All right. I mean, you have the the one good year at Temple and then the one good year at Baylor. And you're talking about some of these guys that are in the tiers above that have, sustained success for a while. I think it's fair.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with it too much, but obviously if you're Matt Rule, you want to continue to climb up that just for the heck of it, since we got a few more tiers to go. We have Colorado. Colorado lands in the up and down tier. Deion Sanders is currently go down another tier. He's dropped pretty much all the way towards the bottom of that one. Other coaches along there. This one's interesting. Mike Norvell, Florida State. Do you guys have any stock in what Norvell can do down there? You got one head shake from Grant.
Not so much.
This is it. I mean, he knows that this is the year he needs to do something. Or, I mean, I guess you got to take comfort in that and being a coach that the situation, right? Like he knows, I'm sure they have laid it out like, hey, you need to win 10 games this year in order to save your job, or at least 9. Yeah, but
I'm not buying any stock. I was curious what you guys had.
And Colorado, I mean, God, they're getting hammered all over social media.
That's what you get, though, when you want to be the loudest.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
As soon as it goes south.
You're exactly right.
People kept the receipts.
Right. Yep.
That's right. People do. It's too easy to keep receipts now. Everything's on it. I mean, once you put it out there, it's staying out there. Less talking, for Colorado and Deion. Look, he's not going to be there much longer, right? Like, I don't know what contract is for him or whatever, how many years or whatever he's still got on it, but come on, this thing has now kind of run its course.
Yeah, the shininess is worn off of it. Now it's kind of like just people are I'm just kind of worn out on it.
So they have a female head strength and conditioning coach.
Saw that.
Right?
Mm.
How would you feel as a player? Would you be good with it? Not to put you in a bad situation here. I'm sure you'll ask me and I'll have to answer it.
No. It would, especially an 18-year-old me would have a hard time with it. I think
so too.
My wife, I think she's probably
more knowledgeable than any of us sitting in this room.
Oh, 100%. Right. And I know she's my wife and I have a real hard time listening to her, but and I know how knowledgeable she is and how hard she works and how pound for pound, the strongest human being that I know, but it's still, even when we're in the gym now, I'm just just leave me alone. I just want to work out. Just leave me alone. So it'd be tough.
Yeah, I think for young guys, I would imagine that a little tough to wrap their head around. And not to say, like you said, I mean, Melissa knows more about inside a gym than both of us probably combined. Yeah, I mean, look, Boyd was our head guy, right? But at that point, Boyd wasn't so much he wasn't chalking his hands up or doing anything. He was kind of, the CEO of it, right? But we had the understudies of Bo, like Brian Bailey, Randy Goebel, Kevin Coleman,
Mike
Arthur, Danny Noonan was in the weight room at one point. And, just like a football team, the assistants are the people that spend the most time with the student athletes. So as long as you have good assistants, I would imagine it would be manageable, but I just think probably initially some of them probably had a hard time with it.
We'll push back.
Yeah.
With that being said, we got to throw it to our final break. Don't go anywhere. In the pit, Jason Peter, Grant Wistrom.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built upon hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with room for advancement.
Let me share something to make life just a little easier. It's just one word, Bryant. If we need service on our furnace or AC, we call Bryant. Same thing goes for an electrical issue. If I have a problem with my faucet, a toilet, a drain, or a water heater, I don't need to know how to fix something. I just need to know who to call. And at our house, it's Bryant.
Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Just one call. 467-1111. Remember, we do whatever it takes.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
School's starting soon, but summer's not over yet. Keep grilling those burgers and hot dogs, but don't toss that empty bun bag. With Loaves for Learning, every UPC from Village Hearts Bun packages is worth 5 cents for your school. Earn up to $10,000 this year just by eating what you love. Grill now, give back later with Village Hearth and Loaves for Learning.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
The Friends with the Garage Floor Company here in Lincoln would like to take this time out to thank our first responders, doctors, nurses, and the healthcare professionals who put their lives in harm's way for our protection. Blood donation centers need people to donate blood. Be a silent hero and donate blood today. It will help accident victims, surgery patients, sick children, and members of our military. This message is from the Garage Floor Company here in Lincoln. Let's stay united and keep America safe and strong.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, owner of A1 Automotive. At A1 Automotive, we believe every vehicle has a purpose, and every customer does too. That's why we focus on dependable repairs, honest recommendations, and exceptional speed in service. Our goal is simple: to help you travel confidently and safely wherever life takes you. A1 Automotive, driven by purpose, built on trust. You can visit us online, a1autolincoln.com, or visit us at either of our 3 locations, 5110 State Hill Drive, 1117 L Street here in Lincoln, and our newest location, 408 Main Street, Seward, Nebraska.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left at once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Play ball!
Some places just feel like home. In Lincoln, that place is Haymarket Park. For 25 seasons, it's where we gather with friends, with family, and our out-of-towners who want that same warm welcome. It's where kids catch their first foul ball, where we're all neighbors for at least 9 innings. Because when Salt Dogs fans root for our home team, there isn't a single stranger in the stands. So come one, come all, and let your local tradition play on. Get your tickets at saltdogs.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Hey Husker fans, Coach Amy Williams here, thanking you so much for your support of Nebraska women's basketball. Season tickets go on sale August 17th, and we want you at PBA with us as we take the next step forward as a program. Our Huskers are hunting a school record-tying 4th straight NCAA tournament bid, and we want you there with us every step of the way. Get your season tickets at Huskers.com, and let's win the day at PBA. Go Big Red.
Now back to In the Pit on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your black shirt hosts, Grant Wistrom and Jason Peter.
Welcome back in. Harrison Arms on the board. We got Grant Wistrom, Jason Peter. Only a little bit of time left here before we go ahead and wrap things up. did have basketball news, but we can always save that for another day. We got quite a while before we hit to the winter sports. Anyways, want to talk NIL. We hinted at it early on, but I did mention Nebraska falls right in the middle when it comes to Big Ten NIL spending. The numbers are crazy. Nowadays, the average in the Big Ten alone is $23.7 million. That is the current total for this year's projected NIL total. Number one in the Big Ten is Oregon at $43.4 million for this year alone. Ohio State at second, $39.3. Over in the SEC, arguably the two most expensive conferences, Texas, $49.3 million. LSU, you got Lane Kiffin, the Ed Orgeron duo, spending $42.8 million. Ole Miss at $35.1 million. When I read these numbers, it's just insane. Do you need to spend $30+ million if you want to be a real quote-unquote contender? Indiana, for reference, is spending $33.1 million this year. And I just put out there, Iowa, 18.8.
You'd like to think that you can out-coach that. I mean, obviously, you need the Jimmies and Joes, but, Iowa at 18.8.
Yeah, third bottom in the Big Ten.
And they're competitive. They beat us. They're competitive. So it can be done. It comes to player development, but unfortunately, you got to have a payroll too.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you're around that 25, and who knows, this is like the Bible. Are we taking these numbers as,
you give these some, take them with a grain of salt. So it's like this NIL.
The big deal that Nebraska, fought for in court with all that money, that NIL money, right? Over this, is that included? Do we know if that's included? Because wasn't that that was a big number, right?
This is just on the total projected, going through all the players on that roster, and they gather up how much that projected is. So you have to take this, I would say, with a pretty decent grain of salt, and that's why they're rounding it down. But I think it is a pretty good ballpark number, because when you hear the numbers, it's about $50 million is like the elite rosters. When you go through the list, it looks about right. I mean, it's Texas. You're looking at the Oregons of the world. It's about that. And if you actually go through and add up what these NIL projected values are for these players, they're pretty close to the ballpark.
So just think about this. You got some teams 50 million, some teams 18 million, whatever, some less. NCAA came down on us because we got crab legs once a week and steak once a week, which they probably get every day out down there right now, right? I mean, what a joke, the NCAA. I mean, look, is it fair? No. Can you overcome it? Absolutely, right? You got to figure out how you're going to build your team. And I think the word that you keep saying is development. I mean, that's how Iowa has been able to hang in there for the way that they do and be able to, get 9-10 wins at times.
18 million.
Yeah.
I don't know. And even at wherever we're at, there's, that's got to equate more than 7 wins. Where our payroll's at right
absolutely. Now. Where's Penn State?
Real quickly, Penn State all the way down there. Penn State's at 26.6. Maybe that's less because of the James Franklin situation, though. I don't know if they were higher than that previously. But it's just always interesting when you go through those numbers. You really start to see just how much of a difference there is. Like when this first came out, it always cracks me up. If we were talking about, hey, you have $100,000 for your roster, people would be losing their minds.
But think about the roster that Franklin built for last year's team. Think about how talented that and in the years prior. Do you know what I mean? Like they talked about those teams as legitimate title contenders. So it's got to be around that same number that he was dealing with. So you can do it. You got to find the right players, develop them, and you kind of hope that they stick around, or you make it so that they want to stick around. And that the environment is just, and the culture is just something that they, whatever. I don't need an extra $50,000 to go here, or extra $100,000 to go there. I'm happy right where I'm at.
Well, that's the hope that eventually we can get to some normalcy here. But that's going to wrap it up for us. Appreciate everybody listening. It's been In the Pit. That is Graham Wistrom, Jason Peter, Harrison running the board. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.